Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. Might have took the long way. We knew we'd get there someday. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. Still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss goodnight. You're still the one. There ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. Glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on. We're still together, still going strong. You're still the one I run to, the one that I belong to. You're still the one I want for life. Still the one that I love, the only one I dream of. You're still the one I kiss
best friends. And I truly am honored, because after a summer of dealing with a stolen backpack that of course had my passport in it, and spending weeks stressing if I was even going to be able to perform this wedding, we are finally here in the beautiful hillsides of Italy to witness these two exchange their declarations of love to each other and to all of us here today. And I would not have it any other way. You see, when I first sat down to write this ceremony, I wanted to make sure that I got it perfect. A lot of you might not know, but I recently got the nickname Rev Kev, as this will be the 4th wedding that I have performed. Which reminds me, Marco, I will be sure to send you the invoice for my services right after we get done with this. But in all seriousness, while I performed 3 other weddings prior to today, this one is special. This one is to marry my best friend to the love of his life. You see, Marco and I met in college freshman year after we both rushed to professional business fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi. I technically am his big in the fraternity, and he is my little, which still makes us laugh to this day. Besides all of these fraternal technicalities, I knew I wanted to start this ceremony today to describe what makes my friendship with Marco so special. And one night, about a week or so ago, when I couldn't sleep, I immediately sat up and put a note in my phone that I think describes the relationship that Marco and I have perfectly. Marco, would you like to do the honor and read the note that I wrote?
There has always been this silent and loyal understanding between me and Marco. We may be different in many ways, but we've always been best friends from the start. It's as simple as that.
And I think truly that is what makes me love the relationship that I have with you, buddy. We've been through some good times together and some tough times. But I think what I imagined, the girl that you would marry, I hope that you would find someone like that. Someone you just had that understanding that through thick and thin, you had each other. And that was all that mattered. And by some miracle, or from some very loud tenderizing of some chicken, you met Julia. And it was immediately apparent to me that my hopes for your future wife were coming to fruition. Julia, you are kind, you are genuine, you are patient. And I think you and I personally also have a silent understanding that when it comes to dealing with Marco, you must have patience. But overall, I think I love you most because of how you make my best friend feel. I mean, hell, you picked up your life and moved to Germany for him during a global pandemic. You technically got married outside in the parking lot of the Columbus courthouse for this man. I gotta tell you, all I can say is I am positive that you are more loyal than I would be in that situation. And I'm confident that you are perfect for this man sitting across from you. I'm sure that if you ask any person at this ceremony today, they would all agree that the two of you just seem to fit together seamlessly. You're a team who support each other, you work to better each other's careers, you love to travel the world together. Julia, I've seen you make some beautiful TikToks all across the world. Marco, I think you need to work some more on your acting skills inside TikToks. All jokes aside, to be honest, you guys are that couple that brightens up any room you enter and handles any situation that may come your way, and it's such a joy to watch and be a part of. Now, I've just spent some time explaining why it's obvious to everyone invited here today to be a part of this wedding on why you both are so perfect for each other. But I want to give you both a moment to please close your eyes and have a moment for yourself. I'll tell you when to reopen them. Marco, Julia, I want you to think for the moment about the first time that you realized that the person standing across from you right now, holding your hand, was the one. Your person. The soulmate you knew you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. It might be hard to pinpoint just one moment. Julia, it better not have been that chicken. But I am sure you remember how it felt when you realized that you did not want to spend another moment apart from each other. Sure, it was one of the most pleasant moments of your life. You felt unstoppable at that moment, and your love was as strong as it ever had been before. Now take a couple more moments, and when you're ready, please open your eyes. I want you two to remember that feeling, and those memories you were just reminiscing on, both today and all your future days. There will be beautiful times and memories, like the one we're all sharing in today. But let's be honest, marriage is hard. Life kicks you in the butt when you're down sometimes. There will be times of stress and hardship. I want you to remember those good memories when you were at those points in your marriage. You guys, especially Marco, might hate me for this one, but in the words of the great Taylor Swift, hold on to the memories and they will hold on to you. I want you both to realize that you chose to be a team for life in those early days of your relationship. And no hardship should or can break your team, your sacred bond, and most importantly, your devotion to a long and happy marriage. Marco, Julia, saying I do today is more than just celebrating your marriage with all the family and the friends gathered here. It is more than the flowers or the dancing or the cake. Marriage between you two is in all moments from here on out. It's in those days when you're exploring a new country together. It's in your lazy days spent in Germany, or soon to be Chicago. It is also in those future random days of hardship when sometimes all you need is a hug and a kiss from your favorite person. Finally, it's in all those times when you feel like your heart will burst because you couldn't possibly love your person more. While I'm here today to officiate this wedding and officially make you Mr. and Mrs. Schubert again, I need you both to know that you two have been married ever since the day each one of you realized that you couldn't imagine doing life with anyone else. Marco, do you come here today in the presence of these witnesses with love in your heart and with a conscious desire to be united in marriage with Julia? Do you promise to share the responsibility for growth and enrichment of your lives together and to give Julia all the loving support she needs to become the person she's destined to be? If so, please respond with, I do.
I do.
Julia, do you come here today in the presence of these witnesses with love in your heart and with a conscious desire to be united in marriage with Marco? Do you promise to share the responsibility for growth and enrichment of your lives together and to give Marco all the loving support he needs to become the person he is destined to be? If so, please respond with, I do. Marco and Julia have chosen to privately exchange their own personal vows. So for this public exchanging of vows, I think it's best if we just go with the classics. So Julia, please repeat after me. I, Julia, take you, Marco, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, from this day forward until death do us part. Marco, please repeat after me. I, Marco, take you, Julia,
I, Marco, take you, Julia,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
to have and to hold from this day forward,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
from this day forward until death do us part.
from this day forward until death do us part.
It is finally time now to exchange the rings. Marco, please place the ring on Julia's finger and repeat after me. I give you this ring as a sign of our loving commitment to each other.
I give you this ring as a sign of our love and commitment together.
I promise to support you,
I promise to support you,
care for you,
and
stand alongside you for all our days.
stand alongside you for all of our days.
Julia, if you could please place the ring on Marco's finger and repeat after me. Marco, I give you this ring as a sign of our love and commitment to each other.
Marco, I give you this ring as a sign of our commitment to each other.
I promise to support you,
I promise to support you,
care for you,
care for you,
and stand alongside you for all our days.
and stand alongside you for all of our days.
And with that, family and friends, it is my absolute honor to introduce to you for the first time Mr. and Mrs. Marco and Julia Schubert. Please kiss your bride.
You're the night, you're the color of my blood. You're the cure, you're the pain, you're the only thing I wanna touch. Never knew that it could mean so much, so much. You're the fear, I don't care, 'cause I've never been so high. Follow me through the dark, let me take you past the satellites. You can see the world you brought to life, to life. So love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Touch me like you do, ta ta, touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? Fading in, fading out, on the edge of paradise. Every inch of your skin is a holy grail I've gotta find. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Like you do. Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Yeah. Touch me like you do. Touch me like you do. What are you waiting for? Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Like you do. Love me like you do. Love me like you do. Touch me like you do. Touch me like you do. What are you waiting for?
My mother said I'm too romantic. She said you're dancing in the movies. I almost started to believe her. Then I saw you and I knew. Maybe it's 'cause I got a little bit older. Maybe it's all that I've been through. I'd like to think it's how you lean on my shoulder and how I see myself with you. I don't say a word, but still you take my breath and still the things I know. There you go, saving me from out of the cold. Fire on fire, we're normally killers with this much desire. Together we're winners. They say that we're out of control and some say we're sinners, but don't let them ruin our beautiful rhythms. 'Cause when you unfold me and tell me you love me and look in my eyes, you are perfection.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who know me, know I can talk for hours. To quote our 28th United States President and Woodrow Wilson, if I am to speak 10 minutes, I need a week for preparation. If 15 minutes, 3 days. If half an hour, 2 days. If an hour, I am ready now. Now. I have been drafting and crafting this speech for at least 15 minutes. Anyone know what time we have to be out of here? Lucky for all of you, I've been warned to keep it brief. I'll bet no one could guess by who. I promise to heed that warning for fear that Julia may move back home to live. So we'll keep this brief. Now, let's hope I can get through this without looking like one of our elected officials, stalled in mid-sentence, or like Randy last evening, choked up, or like Kevin today, crying. Where are you, Kevin? There he is. He's crying already. Hopefully, should I pause and stare, it is only an attempt to hold back my tears and not blanking out. What an adventure this trip has been so far. Chris and I have enjoyed several international cities and many sights, but the biggest adventure was when we had deboarded our first train from Munich heading to Prague. I realized we had left a suitcase on board which contained this suit. So I jumped back on the train and started running through the cars to find it. Then I heard the doors shut and felt the train moving. I missed my exit and was heading off to somewhere without my wife, and both of us are clueless about navigating their train system and a huge language barrier. But I made it back to the station and we made it here. Sorry about your luck. And this has been one unusual marital adventure for Julia and Marco, fueled in part by the wonderful opportunity granted them by Marco's company, and aggravated by COVID. Not many fathers can laugh about watching their daughter get married in the shadows of the courthouse by a renta minister as they take their wedding vows standing next to a fire hydrant. The only thing missing was my shotgun. Sort of gives new meaning to the phrase doing it on the cheap. So where do I begin with my father's speech? All of you know my daughter Julia. The words sincere, loving, intelligent, and hardworking, and a sharp sense of humor only begin to list the traits which describe her. Love you, sweetie. Speaking of her sense of humor, one of my favorite memories about Julia, you ready? Happened when I was teaching her to drive a stick shift. I drove us out to the country until I spotted a small church. I pulled into the drive and turned over the wheel to Julia. As we were jerking and bouncing along, we suddenly realized we were now in the church cemetery. Miss Jules then exclaimed, "Oh, great! Well, at least I won't kill anyone." True story. All of you can describe her as friend or family or both, but only her mother and I can claim her as daughter. We have so many children that I literally have to count noses when I send a group email or group text to be sure I'm not leaving anyone out. But this is no burden, trust me. I have always told my kids to cherish the bond they share with their siblings. It is obvious when I see them all together, bantering and bickering back and forth and finishing each other's sentences, that they do cherish this bond. With each SO, i.e. significant other, and now with our growing list of grandchildren, i.e. Chloe, Luna, Cole, and Luna number 2. Where's Luna number 2? She came along. This brood, this litter, this clutch, this flock grows larger and more loving. Yes, the Herb family is truly blessed. I would sincerely like to thank Marco's parents for raising such a wonderful son. Where are you, Marco's parents? There, yes. You two did a phenomenal job. I am sure that Terry and John would agree. It seems like only yesterday that these two lovely and loving adults were running around under our feet and playing with their favorite toys on the living room floor. What I would give to have those times back. But time and life moves on. All of my children know my standard response to them when they ask what I would like for my birthday or Father's Day or Christmas. I don't want your presents. I want your presence. So I never get any presents. Julia and Marco, if I may give you a bit of fatherly advice, cherish today and every day coming up. The years will slip by more quickly than you can imagine. And before sending material gifts to others, grant them the most important thing that you have, your presence. And let me share with you some very sage advice which my wife Chris and I enjoyed from an interview of an elderly couple, older than us, who had been married about 70 years. Yes, a lifetime. When a reporter asked them how they remained together for so many decades, the wife replied, "We do not always like each other, but we will always love each other." So, Julia and Marco, take the bumps and bruises which life sends your way and realize that you will always love each other. Now to Marco, my latest sill. Let me remind you that you did not do as my other sons-in-laws did. They each asked, in one way or another, for my daughter's hand in marriage. Therefore, in the words of my mother's father, so my grandfather, after my parents had eloped at the age of 18, without my grandparents' knowledge or approval, son, this is a true story. My dad told me about this. Son, this is one time you stole something you can't give back. Welcome to the Herb family, Marco. I love you both, and I'm very proud of you both. Enjoy your new life together. Everyone, please join me in a toast to the lovely couple. Salute.
It's been a beautiful day, and we couldn't ask for a better day for us to celebrate Marco and Julia. So there's one individual, I should say one family member that could not come today, but she sent me her wishes, and unfortunately I do have to, so you can come and grab this. So it's a picture of Gracie that looks like, well, you got to go to Italy, but all I got is this whiteboard wrapped around my neck saying, congratulations, Julia and Marco, with our paw print. But anyways, I just wanted to say, you guys, I'm just so proud of you for the whole trip going to Germany, making it through COVID, and sticking with one another, and just making the best of it and seeing places that most of us will never see in a lifetime. And you got plenty more years to celebrate more and do more traveling. And just from the pictures that you've shared in Instagram, it just showed how much you have grown together and love each other every day even more. And it's just so proud as a parent to see those pictures and see how happy you are, because that is what we all want, is our kids to be happy. So thank you all again for coming and joining us. Oh, there you are. Hello. That's kind of loud. Is that okay? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine. If you didn't know, Julia has a bunch of Catherines, just like Marco has a bunch of Kevins. So I'm Kat, Julia's maid of honor. It was the safe option to pick me, because if she would have picked one sister over another, I'm not sure they would have showed up today. They're a tough group, those Herb ladies, but it's one of the many reasons why I love you. So when I think about all the family and friends here today who took planes and trains, automobiles to get here for Julia and Marco. Oh no. Okay, we're back. So took planes and trains and automobiles to get here for Julia and Marco. I think about how love is being united. We spent time and lots of money, as you all know, to get here to watch these two become one again. Mine and Julia's relationship started off as two girls who hardly talked to each other, until one day she asked me to be her roommate. And I was not united on that front and told her I'd rather live alone. It's true. But eventually I said yes, and we started a beautiful friendship journey together that's been nothing but support, lots of support, love, laughter, truly united as friends, even when on separate paths or headed in some questionable directions, both of us. When Julia met Marco, she was a bit like me when I didn't want to be her roommate. Not ready for that kind of relationship. Until a wise friend, wink wink me, told her I thought she was falling in love. They early on spoke about Marco's career aspirations to move to a European office for his company. And 5 some years later, here we all are in Italy. because from the start, they were in unison. And through the years of not understanding what the path was or what was ahead, they willingly walked together, united as one. Julia and Marco stay in this unison, no matter the stress, the lows, and all that life throws your way. I think Kevin spoke beautifully that you just are truly perfect together, and what you have is rare. Not a lot of people are so connected and, as I keep saying, united. If you continue to tackle things as one, you are choosing love every time. I love you both endlessly. Cheers to the bride and groom and their third wedding anniversary.
Man, Marco is one lucky guy. And I'm honored to be the first to congratulate him on his excellent, excellent taste in his best man selection. And all the groomsmen we have at this table with us. But we're all just trying to keep up with Julia because she looks absolutely stunning. For those who don't know me, my name is Jeff, and I've had the pleasure of calling Marco a best friend for over 20 years now. I wish I had a more not intimate, but I mean, this would be taking a different turn if it was intimate. Heartfelt and intricate story of how our friendship started, but the reality of it was he had just moved to the neighborhood, and we were on the bus home from school one day. He sat in front of me, and we just started talking, and we decided that we were going to be friends. That was it. Just efficient, straightforward communication. And we agreed to meet at the park by his house that afternoon, and that was pretty much the end of it. I think we did everything pretty much every day from then onward. So fast forward from there, about 10 years, Marco and I were sharing some beers with each other one night after a night out in the glorious wonderland of the south side of Pittsburgh, which I'm sure a lot of you have perused as well. But we got to talking, and we were talking about the future. And we decided that if either of us ever got married, we would be the best man in each other's weddings. And we shook on it, and you can start to see there's a trend in how we communicate. It's straightforward. We decide things quickly, and we lock it in. So I'm really happy to be up here today holding up my end of the bargain. Quick little story. A couple years ago, Marco was moving out of his apartment, and he requested the services of myself and a few others here with me today to help him move out of his apartment into a new house across town in Columbus. And, you know, we eagerly accepted, like the good friends that we were. Our mission was clear. We were going to help ease the stress of moving. We were going to be at Marco's disposal, whatever he needed. We'd spend the weekend packing boxes, moving furniture, whatever it was. In theory, it sounded great, but in reality, none of that happened. I think an hour into the drive, we forgot why we were going. To us, it was just a chance to go on a vacation and hang out with one of our best friends. And we definitely acted like it was a vacation because the next 3 days were filled with copious amounts of alcohol consumption, noise complaints, pool parties, you name it. And there was also one undiagnosed concussion that weekend. But in the midst of all that chaos came the introduction to the girl that was living the floor below Marco. We had limited information to go off of, just that Marco thought she was beautiful and the infamous chicken story that we all know well now. Nonetheless, Julie and her friends were promptly invited to join us, and as a true testament to her character as a human being, she agreed because we're kind of lunatics, and we spent a good amount of time with a lot of you here today, so you've kind of seen firsthand a little bit of what that can look like. And as much as I want to say it, I wish I could tell you that I knew they were going to be together from the very start, and that I knew how deeply and madly they were in love with each other from the moment they met. But the undiagnosed concussion that I mentioned earlier, that was me, so I wasn't seeing much of anything. But even through all the brain fog, Julia's personality was enough to make a lasting impact, and I'm so glad that we had a chance to meet her that weekend. And now standing up here today. All in all, the weekend was a blast, and the last day of our trip had finally arrived. We packed up our belongings, we went to leave, and we said goodbye to Marco. We were going to journey back to Pittsburgh. And we were all so confused when he asked where we were going, as we had moved none of the furniture, packed any of the boxes. It was a harsh welcome back to reality. Myself and anybody with me would have guessed that he would meet the woman that he'd spend the rest of his life with that day. But boy, am I glad we blindly helped agree to move some furniture. Julia, we all see how happy you make Marco and the amazing life that you both live together. I see the same giddy curiosity and laughter in him when he's with you that we had when we were 11 years old, acting like fools together. And I think that's something that's really special. You both elevate each other just by being yourselves. I love you guys. It's such an honor to be up here with you today. And please join me in raising a glass to these two and a lifetime of happiness together. I love you guys.
Don't let them ruin our beautiful rhythms. Fire on fire, we're normally kids with this much desire. Together we're winners. They say that we're out of control and some say we're sinners, but don't let them ruin our beautiful rhythms. Cause when you unfold me and tell me you love me and look in my eyes, you are perfection, my only direction. It's fire on fire. You are perfection, my only direction. It's fire on fire.
Who is funnier? This is an easy one. Who spends the most money?
We're not here for a reason.
Who is grumpier in the mornings? Who made the first move? Who is more stubborn?
Se vengo più centrale ti dispiace? Non voglio rompere i
Who
coglioni, ma con
mentioned
questo...
marriage first?
Lasciami solo un buco.
Poi, no, poi dimmi, non è che mi sposto,
Who said I love you first? Who is the loudest? Who is more patient? I agree. Who talks the most? Yeah, I also agree. Who apologizes first after a fight? Okay, this one's a doozy. Who has the crazier family? Good answer, Jules. That's it. Yeah.
Would it be Just watch me dance. Just watch me. Watch me, watch me. On my own on a Saturday night. Send me your location, the Uber's outside. Friends all in the bathroom, so I cut through the line. Running out of time. If we're going out for the night, I'ma meet you down on the floor. Oh, tell me when you're out for the night. We can get it started, let's go. Oh, just watch me dance. Just watch me. Watch me, watch me. Tonight we're going out. Tonight we're going out.
I'm so addicted, super picky. Who gon' please this pretty kitty? Got baddies with me, tan and tipsy. Pass the concealer, got a hyper hickey. Ooh, DJ run it back. Tryna go up where Balloon Girl at. Double cup love in the club, pitch black. Bubblegum butt coming true this ass.